Hey guys, it's Lisa from TwoCreateAWebsite.com, and I'm finally here with a WordPress 101 tutorial. I've never really done a thorough, complete video on how to set up and use WordPress. So if you're new to WordPress, this is the video for you. So before you get started, the first thing I'm going to recommend is that you install a local version of WordPress on your computer so you can have sort of like a testing platform. That's what I've done. I use a program called Instant WordPress, and it's for Windows. And when you download it and install it, it allows you to basically use WordPress as if you were live on the internet. And the neat thing about it is it installs very nicely in a folder or a flash drive, so you can basically move this local copy of WordPress wherever you want. So if you want to transfer it to another computer, you can just put the whole folder on a flash drive and you've got your little WordPress to go basically. So it's a very cool little program, and it's free, doesn't cost you anything. Now if you're a Mac user, I'm also a Mac user, but I use my Windows computer for Instant WordPress. But you can also try MAMP, M-A-M-P, which will allow you to install a server on your Mac computer so you can also install WordPress. Now I've never used this. I prefer Instant WordPress. And if there are other Mac users out there, feel free to suggest, something that you use in the comments. So you don't have to do this, but I think it's very helpful because when you edit and work in WordPress, you're working live. So it's nice to have something on your computer so you can test things, and if you mess something up, the whole world is not going to see it. Okay, so before you can use WordPress on the internet live, you'll need to sign up with a web host that allows you to install the WordPress script on your domain name. So I'm going to assume that you've already got your domain name and you've signed up with a web host. Most standard web hosting companies today come with a cPanel or a cPanel-like platform that will allow you to install WordPress in seconds. Now I'm logged into my site, websitepalace.com. That's my domain store. And when you buy hosting from Website Palace, they send you to this area called Applications. And when you log into your hosting account, you'll see this little Applications tab. And right here, you just click WordPress. And now I just say Install Now, and WordPress will be installed right on my domain, and I can begin blogging. So once you've done that, you're going to go to your WordPress dashboard. And the way you do that is you go to yourdomain.com/wp-admin. That's the only address you need. Now, if you installed WordPress in a subfolder like I did, blog or folder or whatever you named it, then you'll have to go to blog.whatever your domain is /wp-admin. You don't need to add this index on the end. So when you do that, you'll be prompted to log in with the username and password that you created when you installed WordPress. And you should see the dashboard just like this. So the dashboard is where you do all of your work in WordPress. It's where you go to create new content. It's where you go to upload images, video. It's where you go to moderate and approve your comments. This is where all the magic happens. Okay, so once you're in the dashboard, now you can begin to look for a design for your site or a theme. So the first thing you're going to do is go over to the Appearance tab, and you're going to go to Themes. And we're going to go up to Install Themes. Now this is pretty cool because you can get very specific about the kind of theme that you want. So let's say you want a blue theme, you want it to have 2 columns, a fixed width, and let's see, you want it to have a featured image header. So we're going to say Find Themes. And just like that, it pulls up different themes. So you can preview the themes and see how they look, just to get an idea. And you hit the X up here to close. And you can preview this here just as well. And we'll scroll to see what it looks like. So when you find a theme that you want, you simply say Install, and WordPress will automatically install that theme right on your site. And then you'll have to say Activate. So now when you go and view your site, you'll see the new theme. So your site's ready to go. You're ready to start publishing content. How easy is that? Okay, before we start creating content for your site, let's talk a little bit about the difference between a post and a page. Posts and pages are the two main types of content for your WordPress site. So let's go back to our preview again and let's look at the layout. Notice here as I scroll, you'll see content. And as I scroll down, the more I scroll, the older the content gets. See, this was posted on September 17th. This was posted on September 11th. So posts are automatically displayed on your blog in reverse chronological order. So the newest post is at the top, the oldest post is at the bottom. Now, pages are best for static content that needs to remain visible. So in this example, the contact page, and maybe you have some links that you'll want to highlight, some news, any type of content that you want to remain visible from a common area of your blog, that's what pages are good for. So let's go back to our admin panel. And if you want to add a new post, we're just going to say add new. Okay, so now we're in the new post mode. We're going to add a new post. So we're just going to call it new post. And I've already typed up something, so I'm just going to paste it here. So you've got your little editing bar here where you can bold, italicize, do strike throughs, unordered lists. So if you want this here to be presented in a list structure, you just select it and you're going to click the button and automatically it gives you an unordered list. If you don't like that, you can click it again. Maybe you want a numbered list or an ordered list. Just like that, it changes it for you. You can left align, center align, add hyperlinks. So if you want to add a link, let's select the text that we want to link. Click the little chain link icon, and then you just type in whatever address you want to type in here, say add link. Just like that, you've got a link. Doesn't get any easier than that. So now we're going to save it, and we're going to preview it. And there's our new post, just like that. Say there's something you want to change, you don't like it, you can click edit. Maybe you want to add a picture. You can come up here to upload, insert, and you can just select an image. Again, preview. I love it. Let's just go back and we're going to say publish, and this launches your new post to the internet. So now let's look at our site. Now we have our new post with our image, and notice it's on top of the one before. As I mentioned, WordPress always publishes your posts in reverse chronological order with the newest on top. Now let's talk about adding pages to your site. Let's say you want to add an FAQ page up here with the rest of these pages. This particular theme automatically puts all of your pages in this red bar right here. And I'm going to show you how to change what's listed here a little bit later. But first, let's create an FAQ page. Now this time we're doing a page, not a post. We don't want it to show up down here with our posts. We want it to be a page. So we're going to go to Pages, Add New, and we're going to call it FAQ. Here are the FAQs. So we're going to say publish and preview. And look at there. Just like that, the FAQ page appears right up in the bar. Now, what if you don't like any of these links up here? What if you want something completely different? Maybe you want a link to your YouTube channel up here. You don't want any of these pages. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your admin panel, and we're going to go down to our menus. When WordPress 3.0 came out, they introduced this menu feature, which is really, really nice because it allows you to basically make your own menu. So let's say you only want 3 links on your menu. Okay, so we're going to create a brand new menu. Okay, so we're going to come up here to the plus sign. That's where you go to add a new menu. And we're going to give it a name. We're going to call it social media. And we're going to say create a menu. So now we get to choose what links we want on our menu. So we're going to use all custom links because we're not using links from our site. If you want, you can actually choose pages and posts that are already on your site to add to this menu if you'd like. But in this instance, we're going to use external links. So first we're going to do your Twitter link. I'm just going to use my Twitter just for the heck of it. And we're going to call it Twitter. And we're going to say add to menu. And then we're going to say Facebook. Add to menu. And we're going to do YouTube. So we're going to say add to menu. Now we're going to save that menu. So now we want this menu to show up where the old menu did. So right here it tells me that my particular theme supports one menu. So I can choose whatever menu I want. So we want to use the new social media menu that we just created. So we're going to select social media and say save. Now when we go back to the site, there's our new menu. So see how I completely customized that menu. So let's go back to the dashboard and we're going to go back to the menu. Okay, now let's say you want to add a drop down to this same menu. Maybe you want to add another tab and you want to drop down underneath with more information. Let's go down to some of the content that we've already created. Let's say you've got some pages on your blog that you've already built, but you want to add them to your navigation. Let's use this news page as an example. Let's say you want to add news, history, and our staff to your menu. So we're going to check those three and say add to menu. Now, I don't want them to be displayed like this. Let's just save this and let's see what that's going to look like. Okay, so we've got the links going across like that. I want history and our staff to go underneath news as a drop down. So let's go back to where we were. All you have to do is take this and drag it to the right. Now hit save. Now watch this. Look at that. So now I've got a drop down. How easy is that? So working with menus in WordPress is super, super easy, and it's a great way to customize what pages or posts that you link to in your navigation. So you can choose whatever content that you've created to go into your navigation. All you do is just go up here, create a new menu, and then choose either the pages or the posts, or you can even choose categories. And I haven't even talked about categories yet. One thing that you can do for your posts is organize them into categories. So let's go over to posts and we're going to go to categories. And as you can see, I already have some categories that were set up here. So let's go back to our posts. We're going to go to all posts and let's go back to that new post that we just created and we're going to say edit. Now let's assign a category to this post. Right now it's uncategorized by default. Let's give it a category of exotic. Okay. And we're going to say update. Now let's say you want all of your posts that are filed under the exotic category to show up on your menu. You're going to go back to appearance, back to menu. Here's the menu we just created. We're going to add that exotic category to our menu. All you do is come down to categories and you're going to click exotic and then add to menu. Now we're going to save it. Let's go back. And now when I click exotic, it shows the post that I filed under that category. So hopefully now you're starting to see how WordPress works. Just remember, you can only file posts in categories. You can't file pages into categories, only your posts. So that's important to keep in mind when you're thinking about organizing your site. Now, let's say you're looking at your home page. Let's go back to the home page. Maybe you don't like how all of your posts are just listed down the page like this. Maybe you want more of a static site like I have on my hair website. Let's go there for a second. Now, this is a WordPress site, but if you notice, there are no posts down the page. It's just content. This is not a site that I update frequently. I don't have a lot of posts. I don't write a lot of posts. So I don't want to highlight the fact that I rarely update this website. So I wanted a static landing page that's always visible. It's always the same every time you come here. So that's very easy to do with WordPress. So let's go back to our testing area here, and we're going to go to Settings and Reading. And right now, as you can see, we have it set to your latest post. That's what the front page shows. But you can change that to show a static page. So then you come down here and then you choose whatever page you'd like to show on your home page. You got that? So let's say you wanted to create a custom home page. You would come over here to Pages, Add New, and we're going to call this Home Page. This is my home page. And we're going to publish that. So now we're going to go back to Settings, Reading, Static Page, Home Page. Save changes. And now, when I go to the home page of my site, now I've got this for my home page. Notice I don't have all of those posts that was there before. So this is a good thing to use if you want to have more of a static homepage like I have here on my site, naturallycurly.com. So let's talk about the left navigation or the right navigation, whatever kind of navigation you have. Notice how I have these links over here. I've got images. How do you edit the left or right navigation of your blog? It's very easy, and it's really done with widgets. So we're going to go to Appearance, and we're going to go to Widgets. This is really cool, you guys, because you can do so much with the widget functionality of WordPress. Let's say you want a search box in your column. You're just going to drag the search function and put it there. And we can title it Search My Site. And we're going to say Save. Now, let's say you want a calendar. Okay? Just going to drag the calendar over there. Give it a name, My Calendar, and save it. Maybe you want your recent post to show over in the right column or left column, depending on whatever your site has. Oops. And we're going to call that Recent Posts. I'm going to say Save. So now when we go back to our site, now we have a right column. We've got the search box for our site, we've got the calendar, and then we have our recent posts. So as you can see, this is all dynamically generated content. So every time you write a new post, it'll automatically show up here under recent posts. So what if you don't like the way the widgets are organized? Then what do? You simply click, drag, and move them around just like that. If you want to get rid of one, just drag it and put it back in the pile. It's really, really that simple, you guys. You want to add some custom text, just drag it. This is my text. I hope you like my new site. So we're going to say save. And we're going to go back. And there's the custom text that we just added. So hopefully you're starting to see how WordPress works. Once you get comfortable with the functionality, it's really not that intimidating. I know a lot of people have told me they had trouble figuring out how to do things, but all the magic happens right here from the admin panel. The one thing you have to remember, anything that has to do with your theme design is over here in appearance. Now, what if you want to change this image? Maybe you don't like this large image of the iPad. How do you change that? Most WordPress themes have a custom header option. So if you go back to appearance, and you'll notice there's a header option here. So this is the default image that your theme came with. Now, if you want to upload your own image, you can create one, and they tell you the exact size to create it. And then you can just upload it and replace whatever image you have here. Now, what if you don't know how to create an image? Well, you can always, of course, outsource the work. You can go to Elance or Odesk to hire somebody to design a logo or header for you. Or you can even try Fiverr, which is a place where you can basically get things done for $5. And I've heard of people getting some very nice headers done for as low as $5, seriously. So the options are endless when it comes to getting some design work done, but I just wanted to show you guys that it's definitely possible to change this image out. And if you want to learn Photoshop, obviously Photoshop is going to be your best bet because you can do your own custom work. And if you don't want to buy Photoshop, you can use paint.net, which is absolutely free. I tend to do most of my images in Photoshop just because that's what I learned to use, but paint.net is definitely another great option. Now, my favorite part of WordPress is the plugins option, because plugins allow you to do so many cool things with your site. You can add social media icons, you can display your most popular content. There's so many different things that plugins can do. So I'm going to show you how to search for and install a new plugin. So let's go to plugins and then add new. And we're going to search for a plugin. Let's say you want to add a Facebook like button to your posts. So I'm going to search for Facebook like. And right away, here are some options. So let's just take the first one. Let's pretend we've read through all this. We've decided, okay, this is the one we want. We're going to install now. And it says, are you sure? I'm going to say, okay. Anytime you install a new plugin, you always have to say activate. And so now the plugin is activated. Now, once you install a plugin, a lot of times they will add a new option to either your tools or settings area, or sometimes they'll create a brand new tab. In this instance, the Facebook like button has a new link under the settings tab. So after I installed and activated the plugin, it created this option here. So I'm going to click this so we can customize the button. So we want to display this Facebook like button on our pages, on our home page, and even on our single post pages. And then you can decide where you want it to show. You can even give it a width and all that. We're not going to fill that out, but this gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. So when we're done, we're going to say save changes. So now let's go back to our site. And right there, you can see the like button shows up right there. Now, obviously, it's got this bogus number here because I haven't customized it with my own information. But so now on all your posts and pages, your visitors can select the like button and share your content on their Facebook page. So let's go to one of our posts. And as you can see, it shows up now on the posts. Now, notice there's a big gap between this and the start of the content. How do we change that? Let's go back to the dashboard, and we're going to go back to settings, and we're going to go back to Facebook like. Notice the height here. It's way too big. So we're going to take that down to 50 and say save. Now you see there's not that much of a gap. Okay. Let's say you wanted to look for a plugin for photos. Maybe you want to rotate some images on your site. Let's search for plugins. And right now you can see here's a photo gallery, here's a PS rotator. So all of these different plugins allow you to rotate different photos. So just like we did before, you would just install it, activate it, come over here to the left side, look for the configuration or the settings, adjust the settings, and your plugin is ready to go. Gotta love the WordPress plugins. And that's what really powers a WordPress site, is the plugins. And there are tons of them that you can install. So I bet you're gonna have some fun with that. And finally, the settings area. This is where you go to set up your main settings for your site. So let's go to General. This is where you give your site a title. This is where you change the tagline. So let's just change this. Let's say the name of your site is Flowers Are Us. One bloom at a time. And so we're going to save it. Now you can see it changed the title of our site. So this was a quick overview of WordPress. I know I didn't go over everything. I didn't want to make this video too long, but hopefully this was enough to get you started. Definitely play around over here with the dashboard menus to see what the various options do. That's how I learned. I mean, you just got to play around, right? And the great thing about using Instant WordPress is that you're doing all this locally, so you don't have to worry about messing anything up on your live site. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little tutorial, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.